Morning, Sean Wells, sports director at iFiber One News Radio.
Morning, Jeff.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, very foggy on the drive in.
Pretty foggy. Cut it with a knife.
Exactly.
All right, so we got some things to talk about here. We got some picks to make. You're doing quite well for yourself there. I, on the other hand, am not doing as well. First things first, though, looks like the UW basketball team, the season for collegiate basketball kicks off tomorrow. We've got Gonzaga taking on the Utah Valley team, but it looks like UW basketball could have one of the best recruiting classes in the country. What does that mean for Husky basketball?
Well, it bodes well for the future. They signed a five player class yesterday for their for not this year. Some might get confused. This is for the following year.
Okay.
The season gets going tomorrow, but these kids can't play right away. They're still in high school, finishing out their senior years. But yeah, this is one of the top 5 classes in the country.
Wow.
ESPN.com, I think, had them as number 2 overall in the nation. They have this kid, Michael Porter Jr., who, interesting story. His godfather is Lorenzo Romar, the head coach at the University of Washington.
I see how
him and his dad.
That's how he got it.
Lorenzo and his dad are good friends from years ago, and Michael Porter's dad joined the team this offseason to be an assistant coach. Moving up from Missouri. He was an assistant coach on the University of Missouri women's basketball team.
Okay.
And he moved the family up to Washington. Romar hired him in the offseason, and all of a sudden, his son, who's one of the top 5 recruits in the nation, signs with Washington.
Is that weird? Does that, I mean...
it sounds weird.
That's shenanigans to me, but maybe not.
It sounds weird, but this kind of stuff does happen.
Okay.
And it's allowed to happen.
Okay.
And before his dad had joined the coaching staff, Michael Porter did have the Huskies as one of his top 4 or 5 schools.
Okay.
So the Huskies were always in the mix, but once his dad joined the staff, I think it kind of just solidified his choice, and he's excited to be a Husky.
Hard pressed to go against your godfather and your dad.
Yeah, and they also, Jeff, they have 2 kids from Garfield High School.
Oh, wow.
Out of Seattle, Jalen Noel and Dejon Davis, who I saw play last year in the state championship game versus Rainier Beach, and both these kids are athletic. They can score as well, especially Jalen Noel. He has a great first step. I can see these kids coming in right away next year and putting some points on the board and fitting into the way Romar likes to play, up-tempo offense and feisty defense. I think this class is super athletic and fits Romar's style well.
Are kids going from high school to pros these days still?
No, that's not allowed. They have to play at least 1 year of college, but you can't get around that if you decide to go play in Europe, per se, for a year.
So did they change those rules after? Because didn't Kobe and LeBron and those guys, they went right out of high school? Yeah,
they changed those rules. Gosh, it's got to be at least 10 years ago,
breaking
10 or more
news
years
story.
ago.
Breaking news. 10 years ago, really, they made that.
But there's always an ongoing debate, Jeff, of should we rescind that rule, or should these kids have to play 2 years, 3 years? It's always an ongoing debate, but right now it's at 1, and it's been there for quite some time.
Okay. All right, well, I'm mistaken on that one there.
That's why I'm here, Jeff.
Good, thank you. Saturday night, the Ole Town Artesians indoor soccer team opens their 3rd season of the Whistle, the Western Indoor Soccer League, taking on the Olympic Force at the Pavilion at Evergreen State College. Also, the team is going to honor one of their teammates who tragically passed away in September, Austin Kelly. You were at practice last night. How was the mood for the Artesians, and how are they looking for this home opener?
The mood is good. They're excited, and they think they have a good team. They had a ton of players out there last night, close to, I'd say, at least 25.
Wow.
I think they might have to dwindle that down a little bit, but they look good. They were playing hard, excited for this season to get going. But also, they have that in the back of their head. They're thinking about their teammate, as you just mentioned, Austin Kelly, who tragically passed away this summer in a drowning accident on the Salmon River in Idaho. He was close to a lot of these teammates that are still with the Artesians this year, and I caught up with the founder, Brendan Sparks, and one of Austin's teammates, not only with the Artesians but in college at St. Martin's. J.J. Olsen, and so we have a little preview and a little look back on their take on the motivation that Austin's legacy and memory will give them throughout this upcoming season.
Oh, wow. Very nice. So we'll look forward to seeing that. We'll be able to play that tomorrow morning on the show.
Yes.
Okay. It's 8:15 right now. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll kind of look over the games that are coming up this weekend.
Russell looks. He looks to Kersh's side. Kersh's got a little room. He makes the catch. He is in. Touchdown! Seahawks! It's a Super Bowl 49 rematch in primetime as the Seahawks travel to New England. Hi, this is Steve Rabel. Join Warren Moon and me this Sunday night. Pre-game at 3. Kickoff at 5:30. Right here on the Seahawks Radio Network. Russell has time. Fires down middle. Got his man Baldwin. He is in. Touchdown! Seahawks! Doug Baldwin again!
8:16 now, iFiber One News Radio. We're continuing our conversations with our sports director, Sean Wells. We do this Thursdays, and we're going to kind of go through all the upcoming sports that we've got here on the radio and some other notes to pass along as well as we look first to tomorrow night. Excited to kick off the collegiate basketball season as the Bulldogs of Gonzaga University take on the Wolverines of the Utah Valley. How do you like Gonzaga this year?
I think, they lost quite a few players from last year.
Yeah.
But it's Gonzaga, and they find a way each year. Credit to Mark Few. They find a way each year to be one of the top teams, if not the top team in the West Coast Conference. And I can see the Zags make another run. They have a really good kid, a transfer from University of Washington, Nigel Williams-Goss, sat out last year. Now he's eligible. They have a transfer from University of California, Berkeley, Jordan Wallace, who I watched play quite a bit last year at Cal, and he's a heck of a player. So they lost a few guys, Sabonis, Wiltshire, but they got a few new guys coming in, and it's Gonzaga basketball. They're going to make a run every year. They have a super tough non-conference schedule, and they're always very entertaining to watch.
Also coming up on Saturday, we have got the Cougars on the radio for you. It is going to be at Martin Stadium in Pullman there. I'm trying to load up the weather forecast for Saturday. I'm sure it's going to be cold, but they're taking on the California Golden Bears, and the Cougs now ranked 23rd in the nation.
The Cougs are playing well, Jeff. They've won 7 games in a row. Really just took it to Arizona last week, which was good to see if you're a Cougar fan for sure, after they won their last 3 games before that by an average of just 5 points, Jeff.
Yeah.
And they won that game 69-7 last week, just clicking on all cylinders. So for a pick here, Jeff, I just want to recap last week, another 2-1 performance. We're sitting at 10-3 on the season. Just here for you, Jeff, here for the people.
You're a man of the people.
Remind you folks, against the spread here. So we got Cal on the road. This one's in Pullman.
Yeah.
Cougs favored by 15. This is a 7:30 kickoff. Washington State's put a lot of night games this year, Jeff, and a lot of those night games have been very, very close. I think this one stays the course. I think the California Bears will cover this 15-point spread, but I think Washington State will win this game and win their 8th game in a row. But give me the Cal Bears and plus 15.
Wow, you're taking that. Okay, we'll mark that down. Sunday, the Seahawks play in a Super Bowl rematch against the New England Patriots. Hear that game here on iFiber One News Radio. Not the same teams, obviously, as personnel changes, but how do the Seahawks look against the Patriots this weekend?
This one is going to be really tough. Patriots are by far the best team in the NFL, I would say right now, with the return of Tom Brady. The way they're playing offensively is incredible. Brady is putting up an MVP-like season right now. Pats are favored by 7.5, and this is going to be a crazy atmosphere. I hope the Seahawks hang in there, but they are banged up still. Chancellor did practice yesterday, but no word yet if he'll play. It's looking like he won't. Michael Bennett's still out. This offensive line's still banged up. Russell Wilson's not 100%. I hate to say it, but I think Patriots cover that 7.5, and they get the victory.
Oh, jeez. Well, your time on the radio is done. Don't need you anymore. Come on, man. All right. So now Husky football, they are doing quite well for themselves as well. What's going on with them this weekend?
Yeah, Huskies have arguably their toughest game of the season. A lot of people said that was on the road at Utah, but USC is on fire. They've won 5 games in a row. And they're ranked number 20th in the nation in the newest college football playoff rankings. Huskies moved up to number 4, currently in that 4th and final playoff spot. But a lot of way to go with those rankings. USC, once they changed quarterbacks to Sam Darnold, a kid out of San Clemente High School, they've been on fire offensively. Ronald Jones, the running back, has looked unstoppable. They got one big wideout in Juju Smith-Schuster, who is a tough player to cover. It's going to be interesting to see Washington's top cornerback, Sidney Jones, kind of match up against him and kind of shadow him across the field. This one has the Huskies, Jeff, at -8.5. And it's a tough one. I could see this going either way. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Washington covers that spread. I'm going to take the Huskies. I think that crowd is going to be electric at Husky Stadium. It's a nationally televised game on Fox, 4:30 kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Fans will have plenty of sodas in them by kickoff time.
Caffeinated. That's exactly what they do up there.
It's going to be very loud. And give me the Dogs. Give me the cover. Huskies moved to 10-0.
All right, Sean Wells, thank you much, our sports director. We're looking forward to seeing some reports from you as well for tomorrow's broadcast. Have a great rest of your day.